Greetings. I will be talking to you today about Concepts of Oral Reading by McDaniel-Lee. Oral reading. So oral reading is basically a complex process involving mental interpretations based on reading words of the text by vocalization. It is also a technique to improve readers' word identification in context. When dealing with oral reading, it is used to kind of help struggling readers develop the habit of correcting themselves when they read things that really doesn't make sense to them. So that's why I kind of help for a student to read out loud. When a student read out loud, it allows them to kind of hear what they're saying and kind of correct their own mistakes without someone else telling them, that this word is not right, or they're pronouncing this word wrong. They can kind of hear it when it's vocalized. There are 5 components of oral reading, one being comprehension, the next one being vocabulary, fluency, phonics, and then phonological awareness. So let's first start off with comprehension. According to the text, comprehension requires the comprehender to integrate the sense of words and sentences in a meaningful whole. That just means that when dealing with comprehension with a student, in order to tell whether or not a student is comprehending something, they have to first understand what they're reading, which ties into knowing the vocabulary and understanding the sentence or sentence phrase that they are reading. Language comprehension consists of activating word meanings, understanding sentences, making inferences, comprehension monitoring, and understanding text structures. When it comes to comprehension, it tests a couple things. Comprehension tests their pronunciation, their grammar, the vocabulary, as well as their fluency. So basically, it's a requirement for the students to understand a particular text that is being read, which is what I kind of said before. Moving on to vocabulary, there are 2 types of vocabulary, one being receptive, then the other one being expressive. Now, with the receptive, it includes the words that one takes and when listening and reading. So basically, it's kind of it's more so of words that a student grasps while reading, something that they catch on to, or they kind of get the meaning right off, like when they're listening to a story or when they're reading a story. Expressive is composed of the words one uses when speaking and writing. So basically is when the words that a student chooses to use when they are speaking as well as writing. The next one is fluency. Fluency is the ability to read aloud with expression as well as demonstrate and understand of the author's message. Students who are fluent readers are better able to comprehend the text in which they are reading. Fluency is also accurate reading at an appropriate rate with suitable expression that leads to accurate comprehension and motivation to the reader. All of that is saying is basically when a student becomes a fluent reader, they read at a steady pace with little to no mistakes. They aren't stumbling over their words. They aren't struggling to pronounce their words. They are correctly pronouncing them, and they are kind of reading at a pace, kind of like with the snap of my finger. They're spitting out the words. They're not stumbling over words. So I kind of did did a screenshot of the simple view of reading diagram, which kind of tied into everything. In order for a student to master reading comprehension, they have to first know word recognition. That's basically they have to recognize the words that they are reading, and they have to understand language comprehension as well. So they have to know the meaning of the word. So they can not only just know how to pronounce a word, they also have to know the meaning of a word. And that's a part of them mastering the reading comprehension. The next one is phonics. So phonics is the study of relationships between letters and sounds they represent. It is used to describe code of emphasis of phonics or phonics approaches to reading instruction. So basically with phonics, students they're learning their sounds. They have to be able to know their sounds. They have to be able to look at the letter B and know that that's the letter B makes the B sound. So when it comes to reading, actually trying to figure out what a word is, by them knowing the phonics part, it kind of helps them with their reading. The next component is phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the ability to work around sound units that comprise or make up a word. It is important because if a student doesn't have this particular skill, they will have difficulties reading at a certain age. So it's very important that they master the phonological awareness part of it as well. And here are my resources for this particular presentation. Thank you.